It's an unusual name, AUKUS, but it's a powerful entity.
Finally, the fine print.
The AUKUS agreement represents the biggest single investment in Australia's defence capability in all of our history.
8 nuclear-powered subs will be built in Adelaide sometime in the 2040s. And because that's ages away, to plug the capability gap, the US and UK will station up to 5 nuclear-powered subs in Perth from 2027, while Australia will buy at least 3, likely second-hand Virginia-class subs from the US, sometime in the next 10 years.
The USS Missouri, can you hear us?
The PM promising the deal will cover 20,000 direct jobs over the next 3 decades.
Engineers, scientists, technicians, submariners, administrators, tradespeople. Good jobs with good wages.
Oh, and it will cost up to $368 billion over the next 3 decades too.
This is an investment in our nation's security. It is an investment in our nation's economy.
The Greens say it's mortgaging Australia's future. The opposition?
We have to make sure that there is transparency and honesty with the Australian people about the cost.
But ultimately, they're keen.
Come hell or high water, the Coalition will support AUKUS.
The announcement today, a show of unity in the face of an increasingly assertive China.
AUKUS has one overriding objective: to enhance the stability of the Indo-Pacific amid rapidly shifting global dynamics.
Strengthening Australia's national security and stability in our region.
The President keen to make one point crystal clear.
These subs are nuclear powered, not nuclear armed. These boats will not have any nuclear weapons of any kind on them.
Meanwhile, China has been busy warning AUKUS is an expensive mistake that hurts peace and stability in the region.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the best.
So while the cost of AUKUS is staggering, is it the deal Australia had to make?
Today, a new chapter in the relationship between our nation, the United States, and the United Kingdom begins.
Finance Minister Katy Gallagher joins us now. Katy, is this deal a sign the government is in panic mode about China?
Oh, absolutely not. This is around a decision we've taken, a big decision, admittedly, around replacing an existing capability as our Collins-class submarines come to the end of their life, about making sure that, you know, we are equipping our country with the capability it needs for the times we're living in the region we're a part of. And that's certainly been supported by a lot of expert advice to government, which led to the decision today.
Big decisions have big consequences. We're already seeing some, let's say, Chinese government-aligned academics who probably are speaking the mind of the Chinese government. I think we can probably assume, saying this puts a massive target now on Australia's back, and it moves us actually into the front line of the tensions between America and China rather than somewhere that's more comfortable. We spoke earlier in the show with Rex Patrick, former colleague of yours in the Senate, of course, who said that really what this has done is riled China, but it hasn't deterred China. Is all that in our national interests?
Well, again, this decision is about making sure we've got the capability we need for the region we live in. We know that there's been quite significant increase in equipment and operations in our region, and we need to respond in a way that keeps our country safe. And I think that's what the nuclear-powered submarines give us the capability for.
So you're quite happy then if the consequence is that it puts us in China's crosshairs more, and it does put us in the front line, and it does rile China?
Well, no, I mean, I would say that, you know, how China responds is a matter for them. I'm saying that the decisions we've taken is about, you know, our national security, our national interest, our sovereign interest, and playing a role in this region where we want peace and prosperity, and making sure that we've got the capability that supports that. That's the role of the Australian government. How the Chinese government chooses to respond is a matter for them.
Minister, you've committed to managing all the high-level radioactive waste generated from the subs here in Australia. We're talking about national interest. I'm sure people around the country want to know where it's going to be stored.
Yeah, so we'll undertake a piece of work now over the next year to look at identifying places where that, you know, that would be a suitable location. This would be on defence land or defence-acquired land. And it's important to note that the spent fuel, you know, that you would be looking to accommodate there is several decades away, you know, into the 2050s. So there is time, but we understand that there'll be a national interest in that and people's views in that. And so we'll go through the appropriate consultations and processes over the next 12 months.
Now, the price tag is dizzying, $360 billion. What are you going to cut to pay for it?
Well, this is my job as Finance Minister, working with the Treasurer really around how we make room in the budget for programs like defence. We've been saying for the last 10 months or so since coming to government that defence is one of those key areas where there is pressing budget pressure, along with the NDIS, along with health, along with aged care and servicing the debt burden as well. And this is, I should say, over a long period of time. That is over the next 30 to 40 years. So you see those costs, they sound huge and they are large numbers. I'm not pretending anything else. We've got to make room for those as we do with other budget priorities. So, you know, there'll be difficult decisions ahead. We're going through the budget now in terms of looking at how we allocate funding, and this will be an ongoing task of any federal government over the next few decades.
Yeah, but $360 billion, you're the Finance Minister. Did you haggle at all? Please ask, did you ask for a discount? Did you offer to pay cash? It's so much money.
It is a huge amount of money. I accept that completely. And yes, I haggle a fair bit with the Defence Department.
What did you get it down from?
Well, those conversations stay in the room.
Classified.
But I should say there's a huge economic benefit from it as well in terms of, you know, the industrial base, the jobs that will be created, the support that will go into economies in South Australia and WA. So, yes, it comes with a budget hit, but it comes with, you know, a big uplift in our industrial capability, in jobs and in supporting economies right around the country.
OK, Minister, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thanks very much.